Hi, welcome to Black's Legacy Woodworks. My name's Kyle. I thought I'd show you around the shop today and give you a quick tour. Now it's the end of 2023. So here we go. Start off, this is my miter station. It was inspired by Jay Bates, not completely copied, but heavily influenced. Instead of drawers all across, you see a little bit different thing here with sanding areas for different sandpaper and some cubbies. We'll show you around the shop. My shop is a two-car garage at the smallest it could be to still be a two-car garage. It's about 19 by 19. I can do pretty much everything here. You got to move things around on rollers, but I'm just blessed to have a shop dedicated for my hobby. One thing that's really cool here with the miter station is not unique, but you do have the door here, this wall that removes for dust collection, which looks like I need to do some dust collection. But held on by magnets, which is what those are. And that just slides down there to cover up and give some dust management. And I painted this with the chalkboards, spray paint, so you can do some calculations here real quick. And then you can erase that, so it's kind of a quick, easy place to do some quick math as you're making cuts for different things. Over here is just a drawer door for some owner's manuals. Just swing it around, give you a better view of the shop, and we'll just work our way around, okay? Great. So, different angle here of the miter bench here. You can see we got some cubbies for batteries and drills. This is a pocket for my mortiser. And the nice thing about this is you can pull this out. There's some other stuff in here for storage. This just slides out, full extension drawer slides. Then I have this block that plugs in some holes. And that slides out to support the drawer there. When you do the mortising, and then the chisels here on the wall and the door with magnets, but that's a nice steady. And you got this flapped all the way open, over travel, so this is all the way out. You can put your long pieces that fully extend out to do your mortising, so that's nice. That's an option, and that just slides back in. If it doesn't come out, we'll get that later. So that goes in there. And it's good for some stuff stored, things you don't use all the time, but you need to keep them around every now and then. That's going to be a pain to do out. Just leave that open. So, full extension drawer slides, soft close because why not? I'm going to get a crowbar and pause this. Get this out. I'll be right back. There we go. Close that. Soft close as well. More full extension drawer slides for miscellaneous way. We'll pan down and show you the other drawers here. The other down, we can just see other banks of drawers, which is nice. You know, everything's full extension. Get up in there, soft close, nice. One good thing that I really like is I had a scroll saw and I didn't want to do it. You don't use it very often, so I have a door here that has a full extension drawer slide for my scroll saw. Now, one thing I made a while back, I have a plan for this online on Etsy, but it's a shop stool step stool that spins around for a cart, a step stool, so you can sit on here and move around, but if you also need to flip it down, the step stool can pop up, you can do that too. But this is extremely useful for sitting, doing the scroll saw work, because it's the perfect height, and you're right here to work. Everything you need to do, and it's all right there. And you kind of keep your leg over here on the side from getting pushed back and forth. But that fully extends all the way out to adjust for the tension and all that. So don't use it very often, but when you do, it's nice to have it out of the way. Shut that. Only soft close, only non-soft close drawer. So swing around, keep you going around here, and we'll show you the next level here. So here's the CNC. This is a long mill CNC from engineering students out of Canada that made this thing. Great design. Sienci Labs is the maker of the CNC. Here, I'll put a link in the notes down if you want to check them out. They're having a new version coming out closer to the 150. They're working on that, so a little more sturdy. But this is great. Had any problems? Quick little drawer I made here for bits, which as soon as I made it, I quickly outgrew it, so I got to rethink that. The top here is the MDF is a torsion box to keep it flat, and then the waste board on top, which is resurfaced. Whole thing is on cart that is completely movable, so if you have a piece that you can go past the 33 by 30 work area on the CNC, I can pull this out into the middle of a workshop and get pieces to go farther back in there. This is going to get revamped early in 2024. I'm going to do a shop renovation. The miter saw station you just saw is going to come over onto this wall and take up this whole section. This is then going to be suspended from the ceiling on a hoist. Don't use it very often, so I can get it up and I can lower this down to be a outfeed table for my table saw. We'll see that a little bit. But yeah, so CNC. Moving to the left and look at some more of the shop here. So here's my Grizzly bandsaw, one of the many Grizzly items I have. I am putting on no airs and acting like my shop is always clean. I wouldn't do that. I got too much to do. Clean it up and then get messy again. So you can see how I live. This is how it is. So this is on folding the wheels. So this is nice to pull out to get for longer pieces to resaw. It's pretty good size. It's got a, this is a 1-horse motor, which is great. It's perfectly good for resawing walnut and maple. I'm in the process of doing some more of that again, but that's nice. And that slides back out of the way. This area here is where we're doing most of my assembly. This is my flip top sander planer station, taken heavily influenced by Drew Fisher. If you don't know who he is, Fisher Shop. Great guy to follow. Videos are funny, they're clean, great for watching the family. Don't have to worry about language for small children. But if you don't know what a flip top cart is, who doesn't? But the nice thing about his shop cart is that it doesn't flip continuously back and forth, back and forth. It goes one way forward, one way back, 180 degrees, 180 degrees. And that's because inside here, there's a power strip that these are plugged in, so you don't have to worry about cables getting jammed up. So it's really simple. You have one clip here, you flip it over, you flip this all the way over, and then flip on the other side. You only need one clip. All the pressure is always pushing down. You're never lifting anything up on this. So then the planer just zips through that. Fold that down, raise it up, do your thing. Put your dust attachment on there. It's great. But it's really easy to work with. Saves a lot of space. Like I said, you don't have to have all these locks on there. It's a little overkill in my opinion. Put that over, bring that up, put that here, plug in the cord, and you're ready to go. Everything's already plugged in. Great. Then we have the drill press, the standard drill press, 4-sitting model, but it's got this cart in front of it, which is great for storage of all kinds of tools that you need. Size. This cart was on, I forget where I got the plans for it, but I'll have you zoom in. They don't have regular door slides. They're like a double, almost like a bow tie runner. So I can think about what a bow tie is. Instead of just being 3/4 thick, it's 12 inches long, and that's what the drawer's right on. I'll zoom in on that here pretty soon. I'll swing you around. Check that out. So these are the drawer slides. You just pull out, and you can see it's kind of like somewhat of a dog hole, and it's got a channel, or not a dog hole, a bow tie. I was thinking a bow tie. It's got a channel in there that has screws in there that kind of keep it from falling all the way out. So it pulls all the way up, full extension, it stops, and it slides back in, just in a dovetailed bit that carves that dado there, and then just wax on there. These are walnut runners, and then just plywood drawers like that. They run great. They pull out and they stop. No problem at all. Don't have a whole lot of things that are heavy here, but they slide in and slide out, no problem at all. So that's another way to do drawer slides without having manufactured drawer slides. Let me swing around here and get a better look at it. Don't mean to make you dizzy. zoom you in here a little bit. So I focus on that. But, and these actually will just come in a little bit. So those are independent and they slide in that channel. And then on the inside of the drawer, swing around here, there's a screw that, focus, there you go. The screw that rides into that channel, so there's a dado on both sides of these, and that stops it. So there's a screw here that it steps onto and there. So what you do is you plow that out, groove out to a stop dado, and then once you get that in, then you come in and screw that, put that screw in there, and that keeps it from coming out all the way. Pretty nifty little idea. I don't know who came up with that, but it's pretty cool. All right, and here's something that you're really gonna like. Who doesn't need a place to do some figuring if you don't want to get your hands dirty on your phone? This is just a regular piece of sheet steel. Bought that from the home center. Once again, bought some of that chalkboard paint on there, and then just the old chalk and eraser. So if you need to, do some math, you can know that that's a 3. That's what you have the erasers for, right? You can't read your writing, so let you know that's 2. And it's a nice way to kind of figure stuff out if you draw stuff out. Trying to figure out measurements for, maybe some lock miters. You can figure that out and what that dimension is. You can figure that out so you know what to cut where. It's nice. And then that's up there so the kids don't play with it. But that's a good addition. I had to put this up here because the door, the steel exit door, has those 6 panels, so it's not straight. If you got one of those steel doors that are all flat, you paint the whole door and have the whole door be a chalkboard. So that's a really cool thing to do. Give you a place to do some math and figuring. Swinging around here, some pipe clamp storage. Here's my lathe that hardly ever gets used. That is just a Harbor Freight Central Machinery lathe. Works okay. I'm not gonna compete with Ashley Harwood or Tom Silva, but need to turn a spindle, a quick bowl, works well. Swing right here, shop sink, and then the workbench. This is some cool stuff up here that I made. Get over here to get a good design. So some cabinets up there, shop made cabinets. These are really cool. You zoom into this other one, give you a better idea. There's your television. So let me show you how it works. So open that door for some pegboard, some quick storage. But then I've got a lock here and this opens up. So now you got more storage and paint cans on it. So that's a really cool thing. All that stuff which is done elsewhere. And that just slides like that. That just closes down. So that's a really cool thing. These are some signs that my dad had in his shop. Just kind of a memory of how I learned a lot of the stuff from my dad. Stuff you really don't use a whole lot, but it is convenient with the decimal equivalents. Let me swing that around. If you want to, you can get a screenshot of this and make your own. I'm going to give you some time here to, there we go. Give you a little bit of time there to zoom in on that. Get up those numbers, pause your screen, zoom in and make your own. But those are kind of nice to have for math, to figure the fractions. It goes from 64ths to 16ths, and then the decimals from 1/64 to 1 inch. Just come around, French cleat storage, more storage. If you don't know who Alexandre Chapple is, I think that's his name, alch.org. He's from Norway, I believe, but he does a lot of stuff that goes up with 3D printing. And this is something he made, not my idea at all. I totally got this idea from him. But let me come around and show you what cool thing he made in here. Shop storage. Man, these are the coolest things ever. These are 3D printed boxes, and they work on a grid system to where you can see that's like a 2x1 of these square grids that slide in. But the great thing about these is you can make them any size, So here's one that's 3. This is a 2x2. But it goes on any size, and this whole thing is modular, so you can move this around however you want to do this, and it's great. And it's amazing, and it has little areas here you can put labels on. But the whole thing works on this grid system in here, and you 3D print that, and so all these can just be moved wherever you want to move them. And it is perfectly puts things where you want them in any orientation. And man, and the great thing is, it's always there. And so if you need to take something, some nails inside to hang some picture frames, you take that with you, you come back, and drop it in. You can move those things around anywhere you want to get that figured out. So Andrew Chapple, who designed this, completely his idea, not mine at all. I'll put a link in the description below that you can check his stuff out. You can buy the plans for these. It's amazing. This is such a great idea. All right. At the center of the workshop, we've got the table saw, router, station. And this is part of the renovation that's going to happen next year. And I'll give you a quick idea of what we're going to do at the end of the video. But that's a Grizzly table saw, 1023. I bought that about 20 years ago. They promoted how smooth the saw was based on this nickel test, where you can put a nickel right on the tabletop, turn it on with power, and the vibration won't even knock it over. At the time I had, before I bought this, I had an old table saw. Probably was older than me, and I'm not that young. And when you would touch, I said, well, let's try that on my old saw. So I'd set the nickel on the top, and I'd touch the switch, and I'd touch the switch, and nickel fall over. So this is 1000% improvement. This is just some storage area for table saw accessories. The vertical one pulls out, and there's saw blades in there. If you've got a keen eye and you've seen this, then you know what that is. That is the Norm Abram New Yankee Workshop router table. I built that about 25 years ago, no, about 20 years ago. And man, it is a workhorse. It is perfect. It is absolutely great. At the bottom, you can see this is the fence that goes on top, that you can have dust collection with it. The dust collection right there. And that's the Norm Abram miter sled that he used. I know that some people don't like that based on shootouts. I'll swing you around here and show you this. I'm definitely not bragging about what I own, but I'm bragging about the design of the router table that Norm Abram came up with. But the amount of storage that you have in here for drill bits, router bits, is insane. This is all kinds of router bits. These router bits were amassed over the last, not full, 35 years of woodworking. One bit here and there. So, see, I don't have everything, but I do have, quite a bit. I'm very fortunate to have that. And then the last thing about the shop is, well, 2 more things. So the table saw being in the middle of the shop, how do you get power to that? Well, I did this. I took some 2x4s and I made that post. And that post carries power down that post to the outlets for the table saw and then for other accessories. One of the coolest accessories I have in the shop that I made years ago was this retractable arm with work light that I made off of a guy. I got the plans from a guy online. YouTube, I forget his name. If I find his information, I'll put it in the link below. But just so you know what we're working off here, from the end of the router table to the end of this post here is about 7.5 feet. And this work light is just a regular cheap work light for 10 bucks. Turn it on, but that whole thing is completely stripped all the way out, all the way down here to get right on top of your router table to look at the bits, to line bits up. That is awesome. That thing is indispensable, and man, it wasn't even hard to make. It's amazing how just a few jigs on the drill press, but that shoots lights up there all the way. It's got quite a bit of range here, 180 degrees swing. What we need, but that goes out quite a ways. So that is pretty cool. I'll see if I can find the guy's YouTube page. I don't know if he's still making stuff or not. He was pretty elderly when he made that, so that was a long time ago. And that's the track saw I made. Quick 3D printed parts to hold the track saw and some wood. Just hooked onto the hinges of the garage door there. Zoom you back out. So the plans for next year is, like I said, now one thing I haven't showed you here is this laser. It's one in that box. It's just one of those diode lasers. They're really fun to play with, but they're pain for storage. I got to keep moving around, picking it up, moving around, and so I got a better idea. So along this wall here, this is going to be the table saw. Then I'm going to build an outfeed table here. This whole miter station is going to swing over here and go on this wall, and all that stuff. So the CNC table is going to be suspended from the ceiling on a pulley system that I can lower down to the future outfeed table. That'll give me some more space. Plus, underneath the outfeed table, I'll be able to put the laser. And then that miter saw station is going to take up pretty much this whole wall. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the drill press, the sander, and the bandsaw, so that backwards. I'm going to put those, swing you around, don't get dizzy, close your eyes. And that's going to all go right there in the center. And that should give me a little bit more space to move around. Plus I'll have another outfeed table, because I don't have any outfeed table for the table saw right now. I just have to use the roller stand there to, that thing right there, for long pieces. I want to thank you for taking your time to come in and take a look around my shop and show you what I have, and maybe that'll give you an idea how to set up your shop, things that you maybe spark an interest. And that's what these videos are all about. They're not bragging wagons. What these are just ways to, hey, this is how I set my shop up. Maybe it'll give you an idea of how to set your shop up to make it more useful, to make it more enjoyable. I mean, this is our haven, right? This is our stress relief, ways to just kind of get alone and get some creativity out of your brain and feel better. Good for mental health. So if you have any questions, I'd love to hear them. Any suggestions, lay it on me. But I'll be doing another video after I do the renovation in the shop here after the first of the year. So check back to the video to see what it looks like with the new setup, and you compare the two. There's a lot of options out there on YouTube, a million options, and I really appreciate you guys taking your time to come out and look at this. If you enjoy it, hey, go ahead and subscribe to the videos I got going on. I'm working on a entry bench plans that will be coming out here pretty soon. And then what else I got going on in the shop. I'd love to share with you. Thanks for stopping by, and hey, keep building.